Nepal's political landscape is undergoing a seismic change ahead of the general elections next year. Leadership battles are coming to the fore across the political spectrum. The country's two largest parties, CPN-UML and the Nepali Congress, are facing intense internal turmoil. The anti-corruption movement by Gen Z protesters has fueled demands for younger and more accountable leadership. But the old guard is hesitant to make way for the new. In CPN-UML, the leadership transition has turned into a tense political battle. Ousted Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is seeking a third term as party president. Senior Vice Chair of CPN-UML, Ishwar Pokharel, is preparing to challenge him at the party's general convention in December. Pokharel is pushing to restore the two-term limit and open the doors for new leadership. Recently, Oli also announced the formation of the National Volunteer Force and filed a plea in the Supreme Court demanding the reinstatement of the House of Representatives. The House was dissolved following the Gen Z uprising in September this year. The Nepali Congress, one of the oldest and most prominent political parties in Nepal, is also at a crossroads. Its two factions are clashing over the party's general convention and control parliamentary tickets ahead of the March 5th elections. Party President Sher Bahadur Deoba wants to delay the convention and retain control over candidate selection, but General Secretaries Gagan Thapa and Bishwa Prakash Sharma want a special convention before the election to assert their influence over the leadership. According to party leaders, the demand for a special general convention made by 54% of elected representatives has drawn a clear line of division in the party, one which could reportedly risk a split unless a middle ground can be found. The leaders have said a direct confrontation between Deoba and two general secretaries looms large. The party has already sent a letter signed to Deoba to the Election Commission to register the party for the March 5th election as well as for the National Assembly polls. The parallel struggles in both parties are challenging Nepal's traditional political structures. Rising demands for change from younger voters and new generation leaders are testing Nepal's political landscape like never before. Surendra Puyal is a senior journalist, is now joining us live from Nepal, Kathmandu. Mr. Puyal, thank you very much for your time and welcome to the broadcast. I just want to know, why is the anger among the youth or the Gen Z in Nepal still growing? What are they dissatisfied with?
As you said just now, that the Gen Z stands for basically younger people born roughly between 1990s and 2010. But here we're talking about leaders born in the 1950s or even before. And they're still battling, for the higher positions. In the ruling parties, for example, the dominant parties, the Nepali Congress and the CPN-UML. Nepali Congress still dominated by Sher Bahadur Deoba, even though he indicated that he would be giving up top leadership position. He still, remains the dominant force in the party, and there's debate going on whether or not and whether and when to organize the general convention that would decide the fate of the new leadership. And similar thing is happening also within CPN-UML, another big political party, whose leader was ousted by Gen Z protests, and he still indicates that he is here to stay. He is not, giving in. He is not indicated that he is going to pave the way for younger leadership. Although there are younger faces that are struggling to come forward, that have indicated that they are ready to rule the country, rule the parties, things are not changing on the ground. Even though the Gen Z protests, demanded younger leadership, newer leadership, things are not, panning out the way Gen Z protesters demanded, that they should.
Mr. Puyal, in the same breath, there is Sushila Karki, but the Gen Z are still not convinced with her. What is she doing wrong?
Looking at it from her point of view, from her standpoint, She's doing her best to organize elections 3 months later, a little more than 3 months later on March 5. But it's going to be, it's turning out to be quite a challenging task for her and for her government. And again, the problem with Gen Z leaders in Nepal is that there is no such thing. There was never, clear leadership of the Gen Z protesters, even during the September protests. September 8 and 9, there was no clear Gen Z leader. So there are all kinds of Gen Z factions, there are several of them, maybe a dozen or even more, and they have all, divergent voices, different voices, and they have their own set of demands. So here, things are not, panning out the way they should. It's looking ridiculous, but at the same time serious. And there are clearly, challenges on the way as far as the election on March 5 is concerned.
Mr. Surendra Puyal, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you for talking to us today.